from wherever you're watching around the world, welcome from the Essex countryside in South East England. We are just 2 days away from Fight Camp 2021, almost to the day we kicked things off last summer. There were punches thrown, there were people laid out cold.
Well, that was just because they ran out of food at the buffet.
Yeah, well, they said unlimited waffles, and that's what we expect. But on a serious note, what action we saw last year, Sam Eggington and Ted Cheeseman, Terry Harper, Natasha Jonas. Who can forget as well that final punch landed by Alexander Povetkin to bring the house down?
Incredible, epic. I mean, it was a great event, but to finish it like that, unbelievable.
And this Saturday we kick things off all over again. 3 consecutive fight weekends, 3 explosive main events, and a whole host of domestic and international competition on the undercards. My name is Chris Lloyd, this is Darren Barker. We'll be your Fight Week hosts going forwards in the UK, across the world on DAZN. Now, we are glass half full, guys, and we hate to bring you some bad news, but I'm sure you've seen it break on social media in the last hour. Conor Benn has tested positive for COVID-19, and that main event this Saturday is now off, or we hope postponed at the very least. Hopefully they'll get it on at some point in the future.
Yeah, gutted for Conor. I know how hard he's worked. Both fighters have, and yeah, bitterly disappointed, but yeah, hopefully we can get it on very soon. So
we're hearing that Leigh Wood and Zhu Can has been bumped up to the main event. Huge opportunity for the Nottingham featherweight, but we'll come on to that in a few moments' time. But right now we're going to hand over to Eddie Hearn, who's on the stage with Joe Markowski and Adrian Granados.
Well, thanks, Chris. Thanks, Darren. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here as we look outside to Fight Camp. Just 2 days to go. The most incredible experience to come for fighters, for fans, and for viewers on Saturday night as Fight Camp returns. As Chris said, we do have some sad news to bring you. The fact that Conor Benn tested positive this morning for COVID-19. He will be off the card on Saturday night. That fight will be rescheduled as soon as physically possible and safely to do so. Leigh Wood against Can Xu for the world featherweight title will main event here on Saturday night. Chance for Leigh Wood to become only the second person from Nottingham to become world champion. Of course, a great co-main event, the British Commonwealth and European Cruiserweight Championships. Tommy McCarthy against Chris Billum-Smith. Jack Cullen against Abney Yildirim, now elevated to that main card as well. And Anthony Fowler against Rico Muller, Sandy Ryan, Campbell Hatton. A huge night of boxing to come. Before we go on to the positive side, we just want to bring up Adrian Granados up here, which is always probably one of the toughest phone calls to make, the one that we had maybe 2 hours ago. You are smiling, you've sort of accepted what's happened now. We know it's a problem globally, we know it's a problem in boxing, happens all the time, but you've stayed focused. You told me when we finished the phone call you're going to finish your run, and we know this is life now, but obviously disappointing for you.
Very much so. You know, it's just the day and age that we live in now. You know, it's unfortunate. Both Conor and I were very gung-ho about this fight. We're both excited for this fight. We're both chomping at the bit. And, you know, it's just the day and age we live in where, you know, anything can happen now. This unfortunate disease that's just conquering the world right now. It just sucks. Like, I'm upset. I'm, you know, frustrated, but what can you do?
Obviously, our conversations earlier, Conor feels okay at the moment. He's got those 2 PCR tests that will tell us where he's at. August 14th at Fight Camp, an opportunity. The latest date, September the 4th in Leeds. By the way, there'll be 20,000 people there, so it wouldn't be the worst case scenario. But you're going to stay ready for this fight. You have our word, 100% this fight happens, and you'll be ready when the time comes.
Most definitely. You know, I think you had told me if I wanted to fight still, they could give me somebody or whatever. I'm like, nah, man, we know what it. You see this? It says Ben Granados. Like, let's go. You know, this was the fight that was supposed to happen. Ben's been talking a lot of stuff. You know, I've said some things, but I just kind of wanted to get it on. You know, like they say, like I was ready to rumble, and you know, it's just unfortunate, but I'm hoping for a speedy recovery for him, of full 100% recovery. I don't want no excuses. You know, it's the 14th or the 4th of September, either or, will be 110% ready.
Well, I promise you it'll be one of those dates, and thank you for your understanding. Joe, quite remarkably, when I gave you the news this morning, you were quite relaxed, quite level-headed. Is this just something you've got used to now in boxing? I know you've been in boxing for probably around 3 years, and we see this every day. It just kicks you in the proverbials every single day, but something unavoidable, but we move forward with a great card on Saturday.
Yeah, look, the best of times, boxing's not the easiest sport, right? It's a roller coaster, but we've ridden that roller coaster with you over the last few years, as you say. You always talk about the depth of your cards. You reference it on every interview you do, and even the emails you send us, you talk about how deep your cards are. So we've got a great alternative. It's not what we wanted, obviously. We're disappointed, as everyone is, but we're very confident. As you say, we'll find a date very soon, and looking forward to showcasing what was a great fight when we get the opportunity to do so.
Fight camp starts this week. 3 great weeks of action. $199 still the subscription as we move forward to Headingley on September 4th for Josh Warrington and the rematch against Lara. Katie Taylor. Obviously, we plan to announce our October fight this Saturday as well. Plenty of action coming, but a great way to kick off with Fight Camp. A great launch party, and you must be really excited about the future for DAZN in the UK.
Yeah, we're really excited as a business. We're excited because fans are excited. We've got a great base of subscribers already in the UK after our global platform launch. That means we're going in properly to the UK with a very healthy business already. We're encouraging everyone to sign up at the $199 price point while it lasts. It's a great 3-week festival of boxing. It's a tremendous value, you can't deny that. We're very excited to be showcasing all of it on DAZN in the coming 3 weeks.
Well, thank you, Joe, as always, for your support from DAZN. We look forward to a great kick-off at Fight Camp. Thank you to Adrian Granados. That fight will be even bigger when it's rescheduled, which will be very, very soon. And we're going to bring the fighters up here shortly, but for now we're going to head back to Chris and Darren.
Well, I think he's dealt with that pretty well, hasn't he, Granados? Because that's got to be a bitter pill to swallow 24 hours before.
Look, like he said, it's just the way of the world right now. Thankfully, Conor's okay. He'll make a full recovery quickly, hopefully, and we can get him on, like Eddie says, the last one of the Fight Camp. But more realistically, probably September.
Because they've got to kind of, I guess, sort of not just taper down, they've got to almost taper back up now, put on that little bit of weight that they would have been.
Do you know what? It's a tough one, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you know that when you've got a goalpost and you're heading towards it with your fitness, with your weight,
tomorrow's the weigh-in.
Exactly, and then you got your sparring, etc. Now you kind of go back. You probably have a few days off, travel back. I'm guessing back home. You'll have to start sparring again. It's annoying, but it's the way of the world right now, and that's boxing. It always comes up with some surprises.
Obviously, we know that Josh Warrington is looking to avenge that loss to Mauricio Lara September the 4th in Leeds in front of what we think will be 20,000 at Headingley. That would be some fight to add to the bill, wouldn't it?
Unbelievable. I mean, it'd be a cracker. Really, really good. And also, we've got Hughes Straffon on there.
Yes, we have.
What a
great
fight. What a fight that is. So, yeah, what a bill. Can't wait.
Well, on to Saturday night. There are 5 fights on the undercard. Opening proceedings, the professional debut of Sandy Ryan, World Championship silver medalist from 2014, Commonwealth Games gold medalist from 2018. She is up against Kirsty Babington over 6 rounds. Both women are on the stage, standing by with Eddie Hope.
Thanks, Chris. And yes, a new era for us on Saturday night, but certainly a new era for Sandy Ryan, the professional debut, which I cannot wait for, against the very, very tough Kirsty Babington. Kirsty, thank you for taking this opportunity. Sandy, I'll start with you. I've seen you soaking it all up. You look absolutely fit and ready to go, looking great in the media day yesterday. Saw you enjoying yourself there. This is a real test, and it's something that you wanted, wasn't it, to get cracking and straight into real fights?
Yeah, that's what I said, and respect to Kirsty for taking it. We know that she's going to come. She's coming to win, and let's go.
Obviously, seeing a lot of your former teammates out in Tokyo as well, wishing them the best as well. But motivated now. This is the start of your professional journey, and again, looking to move through the ranks quite quick. I know you're not looking past Kirsty, but interesting choice as well to move straight into 6 rounds. You want to start progressing as quickly as you can in the professional code.
Yeah, my teammates, GB, they're out in Tokyo, and what a week this is going to be. They're securing medals for our country, and I'm going to make my debut on Saturday. And, I can't wait. Right in it with the 6-rounders. Kirsty, coming to win. Let's go.
Kirsty, well done for taking this fight as well. It's a big stage, big opportunity for you. 4 victories, only 1 defeat, never been stopped. Sandy comes with a great reputation in the amateurs, but you certainly have the edge in terms of professional experience.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Been training hard all through lockdown, so I've just been waiting for this opportunity to come. I'm just going to give it all I got, really. Take it to the trenches.
Obviously, for female fighters now, these opportunities are coming thick and fast. Obviously, a win for you would be career-changing, but even a great fight and a great performance would just put you on a whole nother level, especially on this stage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to enjoy every moment here. Enjoy the whole experience and just do the best I can and hopefully make people proud at home.
And finally, Sandy, I know that you have big intentions in the professional game. Looking to make a statement. I don't know if you want to put pressure on yourself on Saturday night, but I know you feel like you want to make a statement. Is that what you intend to do?
Yeah, she said she's going to take me to the trenches, so let's see. Bring that energy Saturday night.
Well, we look forward to the professional debut of Sandy Ryan. We're going to have a head-to-head up here ahead of the fight on Saturday.
So 6-rounder for Sandy Ryan to kick things off, and a good opponent for her debut as well.
Yeah, I mean, we watched a bit more of her at breakfast, didn't we? Babington can fight. She's a handful. But for me personally, we spoke about this as well. When you're a top-class amateur and then you turn in professional, I don't think it does you any favours dropping down levels. And yeah, Babington can fight.
Yeah, she can. Hello, Sandy.
Look at this.
Hey,
Good to
you
see
right?
you. You're going to have to get used to
Am I
this.
speaking into this, am I?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what?
talking to
Usually
that.
my job.
Darren's job is normally, when the guys are on the stage, to adjust the mics, and we forgot how tall Sandy was. Sandy, this has been made at £145, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or agreed at 145. I know you were boxing at 69 in the amateurs, which is about 152. So firstly, how are you feeling at the weight? Is the plan to see if you can make 140 in the future, or what's the thinking?
Yeah, definitely. As the fights go on, we'll gradually bring it down. But I've been up and down in my weights. As in my amateur, I started off at 60 kilo
Yeah.
a long time ago, but
Not as
then,
easy, yeah.
but then, I've brought it up, and so yeah, I want to get down and then come back up.
See where we're going.
What's Babington bring to the table? We watched a bit of her this morning. She's a handful.
Can
Yeah,
bring some pressure for sure, isn't she?
yeah, we're expecting to come and put the pressure on, but let's see what happens when she's coming and she's eating jabs and she's walking onto shots. So let's see if she carries on with the pressure then.
I know you've had some good preparation for this, trained by Clifton Mitchell, obviously, in that gym, but you've also been sparring with Savannah Marshall, and I hear they've been some good spars as well.
Very good spars, yeah. Very good spars. So it's good to get the rounds in with her. She's like seasoned pro,
God,
isn't she? So, yeah. So
Good stuff. And I know
there's nothing Babington.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's nothing that she can do that can beat me. And it's no disrespect, but that's just facts.
Self-belief, love
yeah,
it.
and we were just saying, look, when you've boxed at the level you have as an amateur, there's no point dropping down too far and having easy touches for your opponents at this stage,
that's
because
right.
you'll almost be bored in that ring, and sometimes fighters can drop down to those levels, can't they?
Absolutely.
Okay, great stuff. And I know Eddie just briefly mentioned the Olympians, your teammates. I know you're very close with Cara Still. How
Yeah.
well has she done this week?
Oh my
Unbelievable,
God.
right?
I was watching it on my phone on the way up here, and nearly cried.
Oh, yeah. And nice to see Big Fraser off the mark as well, Lauren Price too. Do you want to just give a message of good luck to all your teammates?
Yeah, honestly, good luck to all my teammates, and yeah, I'm with him at heart.
No,
We all are.
We all are, for sure. Listen, we'll let you go because I know you've got lots to do today, but we'll see you at the weigh-in tomorrow. Thanks
Thank
very
you
much,
very
Sandy.
much.
All the best.
See you
Good
soon.
luck.
See you.
So Sandy Ryan, Kirsty Babington, 145-pound catchweight, 6 2-minute rounds Saturday night to open the bill, and that will be on Before the Bell, which is, for those of you that are new, the show that Darren and I do just before the main action kicks off, and that will be, well, I'll get the new times for you. I think it's 6 p.m. local time, and that fight should be around 6:15. We'll be commentating on that as well. Amazing they let us into the live broadcast, isn't it? They were scraping the bottom of the barrel there. And then we've got a great fight starting the live broadcast on DAZN 7 p.m. In the UK. Avni Yildirim, fresh off the back of defeat to Canelo Alvarez, in unlikely territory against Jack Cullen off the back of a really good win against rising prospect John Doherty.
Look, it just shows you, if you're willing to jump in there with anyone, like Cullen was against John Doherty,
Yep.
you know, these sort of opportunities can come your way. Yildirim obviously had a deal with Matchroom, lost to the best out there against Canelo, and here we have this fight. It's an interesting one. I don't know where to go with it, but it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, the guys are just making their way to the stage. As Darren said, a very left field fight. None of us expected. But I think if you've watched either of these guys fight, you know this is going to be a really, really fun one to open the show on Saturday night, 7 p.m. Jack Cullen, Avni Yildirim, both standing by on the stage with Eddie Hearn.
Yes, thanks, Chris. I absolutely love this fight. From the first moment it was made, this will kick off our live broadcast for the main broadcast on Saturday night live on DAZN. Avni Yildirim against Jack Cullen. One of the most random fights I think we've ever made, but such a good one. And to let you know how this fight come about, of course, you know that Avni Yildirim boxed Canelo Alvarez in February for the Unified Super Middleweight World Championship. In our agreement with our good friend Amit Ona over there, we had another further 2 fights after that. I want to thank Amit and Avni for taking a real fight against Jack Cullen, a fight they believe they're ready for, and to make a statement after that defeat to Canelo Alvarez. Jack, I'll start with you.
Yep.
Unbelievably, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, you're the favourite with the bookies. I saw last night. Is it just that Little Lever, the entire village, has lumped on Jack Cullen for the victory on Saturday night?
They all must be gamblers back in that village. But you know what? I'm just grateful that you've got me back out. And what an opponent I'm fighting. Yildirim, tough, strong lad. He's going to come for it. So it's going to be a great fight.
Every single fight we've seen you in is a thriller. Going back to the Felix Cash fight, obviously you boxed here before at Fight Camp last year. You got a draw. You came back, huge win over John Doherty. This is another level, isn't it? You talk about Avni Yildirim. I know he was defeated by Canelo Alvarez, but, had tough fights with Durrell. Been boxing at world level for a long, long time. This is the absolute moment of your career.
This is it. And, if I get past him, when I get past him, where does it put me then? And end of the day, it's all about fighting the best. And, he is one of the best. So, yeah, I appreciate it.
Obviously, we know you come out all action all the time. Is that the case? I mean, we know Yildirim's strong. He looks good now. The way he can punch as well. Is we going to see the same Jack Cullen, or we got to be smart in there as well against this kind of opposition?
Listen, you're going to see the same Jack Cullen, but same again. I've got a lot of I've got a lot of stuff that we've been working on, and it's going to pay off. And there's no reason me not to win in this fight.
And if you win on Saturday, you deserve it, because you've always taken these opportunities. You've never turned down a challenge. You win this fight, you put yourself probably in the top 10 of every governing body in boxing. It's a massive moment, and we'll fill. I don't know if there's a stadium in Little Lever, but if there is, we'll fill it.
Yeah, we'll get you a stadium in Little Lever. We'll sort one out.
Good man, good luck to you. Amit, we'll start with you. Again, you were disappointed with the performance against Canelo Alvarez. You didn't feel like, it was the best Avni Yildirim in there. You've sent me messages, training with Pedro Diaz. I've got to say, Avni looks in incredible condition for this fight. You feel really confident that this is the real Avni Yildirim we'll see on Saturday?
Yes, definitely. I think this is the real Avni. It's the last Avni. I don't want to talk about him. This Avni will be like my Avni, who fought Dirrell, who made his career up to his level where he is now. And I think we will show here you on DAZN why we are here.
Obviously, it's a great fight, and the fact that he's come to the UK to fight a UK fighter, he's boxed at a level well beyond Jack Cullen. But there's a lot of pressure as well, isn't there? Because it's a must-win fight to make him return to those big fights.
For us, for him, I can feel it's a special pressure because, sorry, I don't want to underestimate Jack, but Jack is in the boxing world. He wants to be one if he beats Avni. So for us, if you lose against Jack, that's it. If you beat Jack, they will say, oh, okay, you beat Jack Cullen. You beat him in England. Okay, you can have a special thing. It's in England. But for us, it's more important than the Canelo fight. Canelo was a payday. It was a business decision. But this is a decision for his career. If he is able to continue in a level where he wants to belong, where he says, I belong to. And we want to move to middleweight. We do it in catchweight. So that's a step for us, a big step. For us, it's a gamble, it's a risk.
Avni, great fight this for you. Look in tremendous shape, ready to make a statement on Saturday night.
First of all, thank you and thank my promoter for the great opportunity, for the great chance again. Thank you so much. And this is Saturday, today Saturday. Ask my promoter. I don't want to talk too much because I need to get comeback.
And finally, I'll let Amit do the talking, but you must win on Saturday night. Big fight for your career.
Yeah, but after the Canelo fights, I opened a new page. I have a new division. I have a new target. Direct, I go to after the Canelo fights. I want and my promoter talk about something. new. I did a new page, the new division. After the fight direct, I go to middleweight, but I think like everything will be good. We will see after the fight. We talk about from middleweight. We talk about middleweight, but hopefully everything will be good.
Good. Well, it's a must-win for you. Thank you, Amit. As always, pleasure dealing with you. Jack Cullen, I'll tell you what, I absolutely love this fight. Absolute must-win for Avni Yildirim on Saturday night, and a chance for Jack Cullen to completely change his life and his career and bulldoze the world rankings at 160 and 168 pounds. I think there's even a few coming down from Little Lever on Saturday night as well. The atmosphere here is going to be great. This is going to kick off the main broadcast. It's going to be a war. Do not miss it. Guys, we'll have a head-to-head up here, please.
Well, that was all very friendly, but if you've watched Avni Yildirim fight, you'll know that that will stop when the first bell goes on Saturday night. Avni Yildirim making his way down to 160, so this one has been made at a catch weight of 164. Cullen, of course, came up, I think, for the first time to fight. It was Zach Shelley after the Felix Cash defeat, right. And I think he weighed in, even though it was, he had the full 168 to play with. He came in 163, 164 there. This shouldn't be too much of a problem for Jack, should it?
He's a giant. I think Yildirim there was talking about moving down to middleweight. He was probably looking at Cullen there thinking, I'm making the right decision.
Yeah, I think he might be right.
Yeah, Jack, whenever he fights, he's always towering over his opponent. A very good fighter, game. He can box, he's aggressive, but so is Yildirim. Yildirim likes to hold the centre of the ring. It's one of those fights, I think, as soon as the bell goes, it's not going to take long to catch fire.
Should Jack Cullen be the favourite going into this fight? Seems a little odd to me.
Look, if you look at Yildirim versus Dirrell, Yildirim put in a good performance. He had it on one. It was a technical decision. There was a clash of heads, and he won it on one of the scorecards.
Yes.
Probably not. You'd probably go Yildirim just because of the calibre of opponent he's been in with. But Jack is on a good run of form. Fully believes in himself and believes this is his moment.
And whether those 12,000 residents in Little Lever have lumps on or not, that has changed the odds. 900 square acres, Little Lever, which is, fun fact for you, the same size as Eddie Hearn's back garden. And mine as well. I'm just kidding. I haven't even got one. I've got a plant pot on the windowsill. But I mean, you have to rate Jack Cullen, taking a string of tough fights to raise his stock. Hasn't won all of them. Of course, lost to Felix Cash in what was a very competitive scrap at times. I think he was probably a little bit lucky to get the draw against Zach Shelley, but there was no debating how good he was against John Doherty. Starting to fill into a proper super middleweight, and like we say, coming back down to 164, maybe a little bit of a pinch for him, but he can punch, he can fight, and he's got momentum of tough experiences behind him.
He believes in himself. He's at that stage now. He's had a few fights. He knows, look, I'll fight anyone. And that win against John Doherty has opened the door for this fight, so good luck to him.
Yeah, good luck to him indeed. So Avni Yildirim, Jack Cullen, 10 3-minute rounds for the IBF International Super Middleweight belt, although it's a catch weight, as I mentioned, of 164. After that, Anthony Fowler back in action after an excellent win over Jorge Fortea. He's in against late replacement, but an excellent late replacement in German Rico Muller. We'll hear more about that from the guys who are on the stage now. Let's go over to them with Eddie.
Thanks, Jens. Yes, another cracking fight. Of course, Jack Cullen against Avni Yildirim is a fight that we cannot wait for. And now we move on to another big fight and another important fight, particularly for the career of Anthony Fowler. This time against Rico Muller, steps up, very confident. His team really fancy victory in this fight. Anthony Fowler, of course, congratulations on the birth of your son just a couple of days ago. Not sure how much sleep you've had. That's another challenge in this fight. I'll start with you, Anthony. On a serious note, we know that you're always 100%. You train so hard. How has that been to deal with in the last couple of days, the emotions of You know, you're having your first child, the birth of your son, obviously elated, but now you've got a serious job to do on Saturday.
Yeah, to be fair, I was a bit worried on like Monday, Tuesday, because I didn't feel like I was boxing at all. I had the baby in my arms, it was all mad fear, and I was thinking, I better switch on here, but I knew as soon as I get back in the gym with like Shane and the lads that I'd switch back on, and I've got it, mate. It's a fight. One shot can change a fight, so I'm back in the gym now. I'm on weight, I'm sitting here hungry, so that keeps you focused, and at the end of the day, mate, my life's on the line every fight, so I can't think about no baby. I need to worry about my opponent, which I am doing.
Different opponent, Roberto Garcia, first plan. Very different opponent here. I think more dangerous. You know, the durability of Roberto Garcia, everybody knows about, so difficult to get out there. But Rico Muller fought some top fighters, had a good fight with Ponce, who beat Lewis Ritson recently as well. You know, he's coming up in the division to fight you here, but very fit, very strong. And you need to be switched on for this one.
Yeah, I will be, mate. I've took no stone unturned in camp. I'm really focused. And I'm a really consistent performer myself, and I never spar bad. I never have an off day. I'm always switched on all the time, and I will be Saturday night, mate. Always I look at him as a 5'9" orthodox boxer. That's what he is, and my opponent was the same. We prepare for that style, so whatever he does, I'll have an answer for.
I know there's lots of talks and discussions about future fights, but it's all for you. Everything on the line on Saturday night. If you don't win on Saturday, those plans go out the window as well, but all you care about and focus on is Rico Muller on Saturday.
Yeah, I've got it, mate, because like you said, I lose this fight, they all go away the plans, so I've got to win, mate, and I will win.
Good man, Anthony. Rico, welcome. Firstly, thank you for taking the opportunity. We know you were actually due to fight Conor Benn in the bubble in Wembley not so long ago. You flew over for that fight. Sebastian Formella made that fight, so you didn't fight him. You've been looking for an opportunity, and you've got it on Saturday night.
Vielen Dank erstmal an Eddie Hearns, dass ich die Chance hier bekommen habe, nochmal mich hier zu präsentieren. Wir waren bereit, schon gegen Ben zu boxen im November. Wir sind jetzt hergekommen, gegen Vorlau zu boxen. Es ist eine Gewichtsklasse höher. Trotzdem, wir sind bereit und werden am Samstag hier ein Feuerwerk zünden.
So first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity to show up here again. Yeah, unfortunately with Conor Benn it didn't work out, but when he got the call, he didn't think about it. He wanted to take the fight. He knew it's not so easy because he was quite over the limit. It's super welterweight, the first time that Rico will step up in a new weight division. But he's very confident, and on Saturday he will show some firework, he said.
I had that, spoke to a member of the team today who said that Rico is very, very confident. He's looking to win this fight by knockout. They believe they're going to win this fight by knockout. Is that the intention on Saturday night?
We trained on that, yeah, definitely. He wants to finish with a strong performance, and it's our goal to win by knockout, because we know that it's not easy to win outside by points, so he needs to make a strong performance, and Rico is really in good shape. We're very happy that he could reach the goal with the weight, because it was not so easy. Rico really lost a lot of weight before, and definitely I'm very confident that he showed the strongest Rico Muller we ever saw in the past.
Well, we look forward to a great fight, Anthony Fowler against Rico Muller. Fireworks in the 154-pound division. Gentlemen, we're going to have a head-to-head up here, please.
No doubt Anthony Fowler will be grateful for a decent late replacement at this stage. Roberto Garcia, as I think we understand it, tore his bicep not too long ago. So to get an opponent of Rico Muller's calibre is good. But I think what we probably saw, maybe the defining characteristic of the fight, was the size difference between the two of them, because Fowler's a huge light middleweight. Rico Muller's come up from welterweight, and I think the way Pat Fowler punches long and everything could be difficult for him.
Yeah, when I've looked at this fight, and especially now seeing them head-to-head, it's the size is going to be the difference here. Fowler, like you say, huge super welterweight. He really is. I mean, I remember thinking he was a massive middleweight, and when he dropped down, I could not believe it.
Yeah.
He's a massive. He punches hard. He's got an engine on him. You know, his nickname's a machine, and he fights like one. I think Muller's in for a painful night, if I'm honest, Chris.
Yeah, of course, only stopped by Jeff Horn, was in with Jeremias Ponce, was his last defeat, who just kind of tore up Lewis Ritson a few months ago. But you know, he can dig in and he's got a little bit about him, but he will be up against it on Saturday, no doubt.
Yeah.
The wheels have been oiled, though, because he was out, I think, only 3 weeks ago, and that was, I think, what the surprise was. He came in, but he actually looked in great shape, and then we had a look and saw he'd been out recently. So, you know, the one thing you need to be, if you're going to come in late notice, is to have at least boxed in the last sort of month or two.
Yeah, and one thing I did see with him, he can move his feet quickly.
Yes.
And he's going to have to move his feet. Fowler's going to be holding the centre ring. He's going to put the pressure on Muller, so he's going to have to move, but it's going to be difficult for him.
Certainly is. One young man who had been tracking the early progress of his pro journey is Campbell Hatton. Made that debut in Gibraltar earlier on this year. What a trip that was. It feels like a lifetime ago now, doesn't it?
Was a good one.
Fantastic trip. And of course, Dillian White avenging that defeat to Alexander Povetkin on the same bill. He is up. Campbell Hatton against Jakub Lejowski from Poland. Both of them are on the stage, ready to go. Here's Eddie Hearn.
Thanks, Chris. Yes, Campbell Hatton against Jack Leskowski. Another step up for Campbell Hatton on Saturday. And we were talking earlier about the places that you've boxed so far. You've done all right. You know, the debut in Gibraltar, you boxed at the Manchester Arena, albeit behind closed doors, now at Fight Camp. And a nice solid step up for you this weekend.
Yeah, I get about a bit, don't I? Yeah, it is a step up. We've got a tricky, obviously, he's a tall one as well, so he's going to be, I think it'll take a bit of figuring out. It'll be quite awkward, so it'll be a good learning experience for me.
Obviously, after Gibraltar, which was a decent performance, which you nicely emptied the tank on that fight, a much more solid performance in Manchester. You obviously learned a lot from that experience, and you feel that Saturday will be a nice progression in terms of your performances as well.
Yeah, just the same again. I think I shown big improvements from my second compared to my first, just because of how much more relaxed I was. I'd done it once before, and I showed a lot more composure, kept my shape better, just because I was handling my nerves better. And same thing again, like it's just getting more and more of the norm to me now, and I'll be even more relaxed, and I think we'll see even bigger improvements.
We did see around 800 or 1,000 in Gibraltar. We've got about 300 here on Saturday night. But we have talked about the return to Manchester at some point now that live crowds are back. Is that something that's on the mind and you're chomping at the bit? I know you've got business to take care of on Saturday, but at some point this year, you will be back in front of live fans in Manchester. It'll be pretty special.
Yeah, I've always wanted to box at the Manchester Arena, which I did last time out, but it was empty. We had to get my nana and granddad on goggle box, didn't we? But I can't wait to do it with a full crowd, and we're getting back to normal now. So mine's on the job this weekend, but it's just another motivator to look good tonight and then move on to the next.
Jakub, I know your English is small, so big fight for you, 4-4, but you're ready for Saturday night.
Thank you, Eddie. I'm excited for a good fight. Campbell Hatton, get ready. That's it.
Good. That was very good. Well done, sir. Well done. Campbell, best of luck on Saturday night. Jakub, best of luck on Saturday night. Gentlemen, head to head up here, please.
One of my favourite things is listening to Eddie interview non-English speaking fighters without a translator. We've had some absolutely brilliant ones.
It is very funny.
Yeah, always good. So Jakub Lejowski, the next opponent for Campbell Hatton, it was more composed in his second run out.
Yep.
It's a real catch-22 because so many people, and fighters in particular, will be looking at the advantages he's had from being on this platform with his dad's surname, the same privilege, of course, was afforded Conor Benn 5 or 6 years ago. You know, it's a lovely position to be in. You've got the media, you've got the setup around you, you're getting paid well. But, of course, the catch-22 is that the world is watching you make every single mistake that you do on the way up. Yeah. And that's not easy.
It's not easy, and I think it's going to be very difficult for Campbell being such a young man, to try and switch off. My advice would be forget all that. Just do your training, get in there and do your thing. But it's very hard. He's a young man. He's going to be buzzing with his height. But one thing I will say, it doesn't get much more difficult, you could say, than Gibraltar. That show was huge. You know, being abroad on a big platform, two heavyweights battling it out, and he's there making his debut.
And he had documentaries made about him, and there was press.
It was incredible. So everything now, like he said, is becoming the norm now. It's becoming a little bit easy. He's adjusting to it. And look, for me, it's a baby steps with Campbell. You know, he had a handful of amateur fights, 20 odd, I think 26 perhaps. He's learning on the job. They've got to be patient. But one thing's for sure, we've said this many a time, the journey's going to be fun. When we eventually get to Manchester and he's in front of his home crowd, the roof's going to come off.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, we were talking about Conor Benn. It's taken him 5.5, 6 years to start to turn the tide of public opinion, because for a long time people were highly sceptical about where he could go. The same could be said for Campbell, but we won't know for at least 3 years from now, so we shouldn't judge him on anything too much. So he's there, £136. Catch rate, this has been made out for 3-minute rounds, as you would expect at this stage of his career. Just 20 years of age, he will be up on the bill, and that is before our chief support. I think one that you and I are both really looking forward to. We know the guys well, Chris Billam-Smith and Tommy McCarthy. Billam-Smith, the Commonwealth Cruiserweight champion, Tommy McCarthy, the European champion. Of course, both camps, there's plenty of needle and a bit of context to this fight as well. The vacant British title is on the line too. This is a proper domestic cruiserweight clash with a huge upside for the winner, isn't it?
All the domestic belts, you know, the British, Commonwealth, European, it's a fantastic fight. It's a toss of the coin. It's the skillful boxer versus the big punching Chris Billam-Smith. It is a real pick-em.
Yeah, it is. Of course, Lawrence Okoli changed the landscape of the cruiserweight division not too long ago by winning the WBO title. One of these two could well be in line for the WBA, but all parties are on the stage ready to talk. Let's hand you over for our chief support, Chris Billam-Smith, Tommy McCarthy, both standing by with Eddie Hearn.
Yes, thank you, Chris. Always co-main event on this card, and still co-main event, but what a fight. Tommy McCarthy against Chris Billam-Smith for the British, the Commonwealth, the European Cruiserweight Championship, but quite frankly, also with huge strides towards a world title for the winner of this fight. Delighted to be joined by both fighters, of course, Mark Dunlop and also Shane McGuigan. Chris, I'm going to start with you. As we'd expect, in tremendous shape. Lots of talk in this fight, great build-up, everyone really excited, and just a couple of days away now.
Yeah, it's been good, it's been exciting. You know, it's a fight you can really get up for with everything that's on the line and the chat and the interviews and everything like that. So, yeah, I'm excited for Saturday night.
I feel like that you've paid your dues in this sport. You know, you've always taken the opportunities you've been given. You've been looking for that big breakout fight. And let's be honest, this is it, isn't it? The British, Commonwealth, European titles probably moves you into the top 5 in the world, certainly with the IBF as well. And this is a massive moment for your career.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the right steps at the right time, I believe. So with the British, Commonwealth and European titles being on the line, it's another step on the ladder.
A lot of people talking about how this fight goes, how this fight ends. I know that you've been quite vocal. You believe you win this fight by stoppage. We heard that from you last time at Fight Camp. Is that still in the mindset from Chris Billam-Smith? You believe you win this fight by knockout?
Yeah, absolutely. I've said it all along. I believe I'll stop Tommy in the mid to late rounds, and that's what I said at the beginning. That's what I still believe.
Shane, great fight. You know, the fight that you've been looking for a while now for Chris Billam-Smith to really show that he is. This is a fight that's really above domestic level as well in terms of their world rankings, but one that you've really been able to get your teeth into as a trainer.
Yeah, definitely. There's credit to both of them taking it because, you know, it's obviously a domestic title, but they're both highly ranked throughout the governing bodies at world level as well. So they could have sat and waited for an opportunity at the top. But it's fantastic. It allows Chris to win the European title and the British and you know, defend his Commonwealth. And it's exactly what he's in this sport for. Big fights, domestic fights they can get up for, and you know. And it's a competitive fight. You know what I mean? It really is. It's after Reactpro, it's probably Chris's hardest fight to date.
What do you see in this fight? I know you won't give game plans away, but I know that you guys are both very confident in this fight. But at the same time, I know you rate Tommy McCarthy as well. Do you just think it's the strength of Chris Billam-Smith, the engine, the power, the sharpness? What wins him this fight?
Size, definitely. I think Tommy's not the biggest cruiserweight. He's very skillful, got good movement, sits back well. He's very elusive, but I think in close, mid to short range, size is going to tell as the fight goes on, and I can see him stopping him in the late rounds.
I know that Chris is one of your favourites. You worked with him for a long time. It would mean a lot to win this fight on Saturday night. It would be massive for him and would give him a huge future in the division.
Definitely. I mean, this is a massive step for Chris. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't touted to be the best fighter. You know, he didn't go to the Olympics. He wasn't on a national setup, but we've been working together now, 4 years? And it's a gradual progression. He's been in the gym with good quality fighters. He's picked things up. He's dedicated himself to the sport. He's maximised himself as an athlete throughout every single sort of section of his. I think like this is going to be a real defining fight for him, and one that it's going to just put him on the world scene, I think.
Thank you, Team Billam-Smith. Tommy and Mark, welcome. Tommy, I'll start with you. Not the biggest cruiserweight, but I did say when you get on the stage, you look in better shape every time I see you. Concerned about the size in this fight, or you believe you're bulked up, ready for action on Saturday?
Well, there's not that much of a size difference, really. He's 6'3", I'm 6'2.5", so half an inch, you know what I mean? And we're the same weight, so it's not a major factor. And nothing concerns me about Chris. Like, I know, like Shane said it, I've got the better boxing skills, I'm elusive, I've got more experience. All his cards are stacked in my favour. And Chris is just rolling the dice here. And, it's a big mistake to take his fight at this stage in his career. Like I said it before, like he isn't ready for such a massive jump. He hasn't been fighting at a good level, and now he's coming up the high level. So, I'm going to prove that on Saturday night.
This is a big opportunity for him. I feel like yourself with the European title, also well ranked in the governing bodies as well. You've almost got more to lose than him in this fight. I know he's desperate to win as well, but it was quite a bold move by you and Mark to take this fight. You just fancied it. You knew people wanted to see this fight, and you decided to sign on the dotted line.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I'll fight anyone, but for the fight Chris Billam-Smith and with the get the clean sweep and to go on the fight for a world title after, this is like you couldn't have picked a better opponent. Like some people have world title eliminators against like killers. I'm fighting Chris Billam-Smith, so like I couldn't say no. So I mean,
you don't rate him as a fighter? You just don't believe he's on your level?
Nah, that's it. Like he's good, but what he said, he's not on my level, and that's not even just an opinion. That's just looking at the facts. That he hasn't boxed at my level, hasn't got the experience, and Saturday night, that's what's going to happen. I'm just going to thump him all over the ring.
I know that he's touting a knockout in this fight. Perhaps you might see yourself controlling this fight over the distance as well, but are there bad intentions in this fight? Would you truthfully love to do a number on him in there on Fight Camp on Saturday?
Listen, he's been saying it, and I said this yesterday. Chris has been saying the exact same one-liner in every interview. Yeah, I think I'll stop him mid to late rounds. And then I was going, obviously, somebody's saying that to him. And then Shane has actually just more or less said it. So it proves my point that he is saying what Shane says. You know what I mean? I could easily, bored of when 300 people to death and boxing right to victory, but I'm coming in here to smash him to bits.
Mark, a great fight that was made. I mean, you got a history with your fighters. You take the challenges. You believe in them. They believe in themselves. This is a great fight. I think Tommy made a great point about you could fight, a dangerous guy for a final eliminator, but also you could fight a guy that someone's never heard of. Yeah. These are the fights that people want to see. The British Commonwealth European title. These are the old school fights, and brilliant for boxing that this is happening.
Yeah, 100%. As you said to me earlier on today, Eddie, it is the triple crown of boxing, of British and Irish boxing. So we're delighted that we're facing Chris for all three belts. It's he is 12-1 or 13-1. It's not like you say he's not fighting Mike Tyson or in his heyday. But saying that, Chris is a good guy. He seems a nice guy. I feel he's being pushed to say the things that he's saying, but at the end of the day, when they get into that ring there, there's only going to be one winner, and that's Tommy McCarthy. Tommy has boxed at levels above what the guy's done. The only real thing that you can gauge it on is a Reactpor fight when Tommy had an off night. But this kid has never ever boxed in the away corner apart from that night, if he was in the away corner night, and that's the night he lost. You see what Tommy done in Italy. Tommy went there, with intentions to turn his career down and make sure that the defeat, that he had against Reactpor wasn't, it was a blip along the road. But these blips along the roads is what's made Tommy the fighter he is. I've never seen him so dedicated. He hasn't been out of camp since the last fight, and that's why he's in incredible shape. And he's learned now that he's champion of Europe, and kicking on a door of a world title, and not just a world title fight, a world title. He's number 3 in the IBF. I know we've got a Coley as well, the camp, same training team, but Tommy's going for everything, all the belts and the world title, and that's the reason we're here. It's not about money, or we would have got much more. He's here for glory.
I will say, Tommy, as well, I know Mark Dunlop is probably the most emotional guy in terms of his fighters, but there was a while, it wasn't too long ago, that you were scratching around for opportunities, and Mark was just trying to get you a break. You sit here on the verge of winning, like you said, the Triple Crown of British and Irish boxing, and also on the verge of a world title fight. This is a big moment for your career, and you've really come up the hard way with the help of Mark and the team.
Exactly. Not from talent to me. I've had to really knuckle down and overcome all the naysayers. Everyone thought it was finished. So, I had to, like I've said countless times, reposition myself, put a good, strong team behind me. And, we've been busting our ballocks ever since, and we're getting the results. So, like Mark said, we're not here for the money. We're not here for, just to take part. We're here for the glory. And that's the only reason why we're taking this fit. And, I in the form of my life at the minute, I'm getting better every single fit. So, I'm ready to go to work.
Thank you. And finally to the top table up here, Shane, you pumping that into your man, 6 to 9 rounds, the knockout, or you truly believe that he will stop Tommy McCarthy on Saturday?
I genuinely believe he's going to stop him, yeah. I mean, it could even come earlier than 6 rounds. We'll see.
Chris, from your side, full confident?
Yeah, absolutely. I've said that all along, because that's what I believe will happen, and I just can't wait for Saturday night. Well,
nor can I. This is a tremendous fight. I want to thank both teams for taking this fight. I want to see more fights like this on DAZN. This is going to be our co-main event at Fight Camp Week 1 on Saturday night. Whatever you do not miss it. Gentlemen, a head-to-head, please.
Spicy. Well, both
Revved up, wasn't he?
Was revved up indeed. I like it when it's a little bit of hot sauce on the chief support. Haven't even got to the main event yet. Both guys bring in a belt to the party. Bill and Smith, the Commonwealth, McCarthy, the European, and the vacant British on the line. What a set that will be for the winner.
Yeah. I told you whilst they were talking that I managed to do that.
Yeah, we know you won the full set.
I was so buzzing
Yeah.
to get that trio. It was a big thing to me, and you can see for those guys, it's a huge moment. It really is a brilliant fight. It's I would say a real pick-em fight. It's what you like.
I mean, listen, there's no sort of guesses for who's the more improved of the two, man. I think this man has probably got one of the accolades for being one of the most improved fighters in the UK in the last couple of years. The win over Fabio Turki, the win over Bilal Lagoon, the strength and conditioning with your cousin Lloyd Edwards. You are physically and mentally, you seem a completely different fighter to where you were 18 months ago.
Yeah, flat, you know, like, you can't take the hustle, you know what I mean? Can't take the grind, so you get Edwards, you pull in. I've been putting everything in, and, you know, the results are shown.
Did you feel that you were cheating it for a little while? Has it made you realise what you weren't doing?
Not cheating, but, you know, relying on talent, and talent can only get you so far, and then especially when you start climbing up to the championship level, you'll get found out. And I always worked hard and trained hard and all, but I didn't have the correct structure in it. But now all the boxes are ticked.
You was the Lagoon fight, just before that fight, obviously being for the European title, you were saying that title means an awful lot to you, not just because of the accolades, but it puts you up there in the governing bodies of the world titles. If all goes well Saturday night and you beat Chris Billam-Smith, how far do you think you are from a world title shot?
I believe my next fight will be a world title.
Well, you're 3-4 with the WBA, the pair of you.
Yeah.
And
so,
Arsene Goulamirian is the champion.
Yeah. And that was a fight that was already offered to me just before COVID. So, you know, we already agreed to have that fight, and then it didn't work out that way. So we're on each other's radar in terms of teams. And then with the other governing bodies, I'm ranked highly too. So it's like, it's a no-brainer. Like, or I said, fighting Chris Billam-Smith is a step back the way, because I'm European champion, fighting for Commonwealth and British. So when I have all them, what else is there left to do aside from move on to a world title?
Yeah. A lot of people are comparing the last two fights that you had. He had Vasyl Dutsar, who was incredibly durable, and of course he was in control for the majority of the fight, put him down twice and went to points in the end. But you were much more dominant over Alexandre Usyk. I don't know whether that strength and conditioning is starting to come into play, but you look so much more assured at centre ring. Do you feel like all the work you've been doing has made you have more confidence in the way you box and in holding centre ring?
Yeah, like I feel like, as you said at the start, I'm improving all the time. But when I fought Lagoon originally, when I fight, I broke my hand, so I was obviously hampered. You know what I mean? And so going into the Jur fight, I was fully fit. There was no injuries, and everything was great. And you know, actually, when Smith was fighting Ducar, I was like, he's obviously going to stop him. This is a last-minute replacement, and he struggled big time. And watching that fight, that gave me like so much confidence. I was like, this guy is not ready for me. And I actually tweeted it, and then just the more I've been around him, like energy doesn't lie. I can just feel that. I'm getting more confidence. The more I see him and look at him and be around him, I'll be like, this guy is not ready for me.
Great stuff. Well, listen, Tommy, we've got the main event on the stage, so we just want to say thanks very much.
Good
luck. We'll see you at the weigh-in
tomorrow.
Tommy McCarthy, Chris Billam-Smith, British, Commonwealth, European cruiserweight titles, our chief support. But let's hand you over, without further ado, to our main event on the stage. Here's Eddie.
Thanks, Chris. And yeah, what a fight we have up here. Again, when we made this fight, there's a lot of people saying this should be main event. Unfortunately, with unfortunate surroundings, this has become main event on a great card. Chris Billam-Smith, Tommy McCarthy there, loved that fight. Yildirim Cullen, Fowler against Muller. But this fight is for the World Featherweight Championship. A massive opportunity for Leigh Wood to make history this weekend as only the second man from Nottingham to win a world title. We can't remember who the other one was. He doesn't remind us enough. He'll be there on Saturday, Carl Froch as well. But a great fight against one of the most exciting fighters in the world today, the monster Can Xu, and welcome to two great trainers up here as well, Ben Davison and Pedro Diaz as well. We'll hear from the champion side shortly. But Ben, massive fight. We know you love to break fights down. We know you love to talk about fights. You were excited earlier talking about Yildirim against Cullen. I know you like Tommy McCarthy against Chris Billam-Smith, but your charge here, just with a really, almost like a random opportunity to win a world title on home soil. As the days draw closer, more people starting to believe that Leigh Wood can do this on Saturday night.
Yeah, I certainly believe that Leigh Wood can do this. We're very confident. Like you say, it was quite random, but fortunately enough, Leigh had been in the gym. He looks after himself all year round. And he's very well prepared. This is the best prepared I've seen him. Physically, mentally, emotionally, technically, tactically. So we're ready to go.
I remember before he boxed for the British title against Reece Mould, you sort of pulled me to one side. You said, I've never seen anyone punch as hard as Lee Wood in this division, even on a pound-for-pound level as well. Is that going to be the key to this fight? We know about the volume punching of Can Xu. It's very difficult to win rounds. He has to look for the right opportunity and take him out. Is that the facts?
To a degree, look, he's been in with other good punchers as well. So, you know, the hardest punchers don't always become the best fighters. So you need a little bit more than that. But like I said before, Lee's very well prepared tactically as well. Anybody that knows Can Xu knows that he's got phenomenal output, and it's for us to deal with that. Obviously, I'm not going to go into detail on how we're going to deal with that. But that's a problem that we've got to solve, and we believe we know what we need to do to solve it.
You know that opportunities come around like this once in a career, once in a blue moon, would be an incredible story as well for someone that's given a lot to the sport. But you guys, and looking at the odds from the bookmakers now closing in, certainly not here to make up the numbers. You're looking for Lee Wood to become world champion on Saturday.
100%, I believe that Lee Wood will become world champion on the weekend.
Lee, now main event, probably some say where you should be as well. You've paid your dues, you've boxed for everything, you've been looking for a major opportunity. Who thought, or who would have thought, that the opportunity would come to fight for the world title in England as well? Tough fight, but as a team, you really believe you can do this on Saturday?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's the thing you dream of when you first step into a gym. It's a kid fighting for a world title and winning a world title. Like I said, it's not going to be good enough just to fight for one. I need to win. I'm 100% confident in getting the win across the line on Saturday night. Worked really hard. You know, my testament to being in the gym, staying ready, ticking over and improving with Ben is the reason why I've got myself ready in short notice. My last fight for the British title, I only had a short spell with Ben. So I was working on things and I just did as I was told. Do this, do that, and I thought, I just trusted him. And it worked for the British title. Now, I've been back in the gym after that fight and I've been picking things up, and now I understand what I'm doing. So it's going to play a massive key in victory on Saturday night.
I know that, you know, many times in your career, you know, you've had to take late-minute opportunities, sometimes short money for opportunities. When you look at this division and you see next week Kid Galahad fighting Jazza Dickens for the IBF world title, in a couple of weeks Josh Warrington rematching Lara in front of 20,000 people, you've got Leo Santa Cruz in the division, you've got Gary Russell. This is just an absolute life-changing moment for you. And those moments are all about taking opportunities when they come. That's what you've got to do on Saturday night. You take this opportunity, you change your life forever.
That's it. Obviously, there's Navarrete as well with the WBO. After my last fight, looking at my age and that, I was looking at pursuing one of them. I think Navarrete was the option I wanted to go for stylistically. But yeah, there's so many names at featherweight. It's red hot in Britain as well, obviously next week as well. But, you know, I can't look too far ahead. I've got to be extremely focused on Saturday night because all that can just dissolve into the oblivion. I need to be 100% focused on Saturday night, and I am. And I truly believe, hands down, I'm going to win this fight. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I know there may be times when I have to take a little trip through Trench Town and come back through it. There may be swings in the tide, but like Ben said, my tactics, everything we're working on, I believe in it, and I've got a lot of power. I'm not going to be relying on it, but it's going to be key to getting the victory across the line as well.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Ben. Pedro, I'll start with you. Welcome. Also want to say thank you to Golden Boy as well and Robert Diaz for helping bring Can Xu over. We tried to do it before with Josh Warrington. Now we've finally got him in the UK. Such an exciting fighter. You know, people talk about his work rate. We know he has so much more than that as well, but been inactive for a while. This is a big fight and a must-win fight for Can Xu on Saturday.
Thank you, Eddie. I'm very happy in England today, and thank you for big opportunity in the fight camp. I think the Saturday is very good fight. Sorry for the Ben, for the COVID test, but good and Sugan, good main event. I think this big fight, Static Sug, good. He has big power, and he has very good corner, good experience. The guy working with many champions, but a good big power. But Sugan he have good defense and very smart too. I think for the fight next Saturday, great fight.
Thank you, Pedro. Xu, it's been a long time since you last boxed. We talked about the Warrington fight and fighting here, but a big moment for you on Saturday now headlining the show and a big audience as well. You ready for victory on Saturday?
对，我准备了很长时间。如果说是20多个月没比赛，但是我相信我自己。
On Saturday night.
For the fans, and I will take the victory back to my family, back to my country. 中国加油! Nothing can stop me.
Thank you, Zucan. Thank you, Lee Wood. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Pedro. This is a tremendous fight. The WBA featherweight world title. Zucan, one of the most exciting fighters in world boxing, against Nottingham's Lee Wood with a chance to make unbelievable history here at Fight Camp, live on DAZN. Gentlemen, could we have a head-to-head up here, please?
Well, he's a long way from home, Zucan, and he's been out of the ring for a long time as well, nearly 21 months, as you might have heard him on the stage there. Of course, he was due to fight Josh Warrington. The IBF wouldn't sanction the unification because Leo Santa Cruz holds the full version of the 126-pound belt. Spoke to Lee Wood about that yesterday, and he said, look, the belt would be a great accolade for me to have. He said, but it's less about that and more about the fact that if I win this on Saturday night, I've beaten a guy who's rated number 3 by the ring in those 126-pound rankings. It would be a massive upset as far as the odds are concerned.
Huge upset, and you're right in saying with what you say about the belts, but it's beating a top-class fighter and putting you in that frame for one of the best, or being one of the best in the division. It opens up so many doors, and you can fight for some real cracking titles. Eddie's saying there to Zucan, you're one of the most popular fighters you're one of the most popular fighters because you're throwing 1,500 shots in a fight. It's incredible. This is a really good fight. It's another one where I think as soon as the first bell goes, we're in for fireworks.
We certainly are. That is the main event. 12 rounds for the WBA regular version of the £126 title. Can Xu, the champion, Leigh Wood, the challenger. And that is the motto of Fight Camp: no easy fights. We'll see you again tomorrow.
I must give the British people a very simple instruction.
The world in crisis.
Stay at home.
A global
The
pandemic.
British Boxing Board have control of cancelled all events.
The opportunity for us to create something magical.
What you're going to see is going to be very special.
Fight Camp was born.
We would never have seen anything like this.
First rule of Fight Camp: no easy fights.
Incredible.
Big round.
Absolutely
Nights we will never forget.
This is heavyweight boxing.
And just when you thought it was all over, we're only just getting started. As some of our biggest fighters return on the most unique of stages. Huge nights from the new home of boxing. Game changed.